Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about why are habits important. If I ask the question, what is the role of habits? Or what are habits? People generally tell me the right answer. It's something that we repeatedly do, it's the automation in us that's called habits. But if I ask them, why are habits important? I don't get a right answer. So I thought we'll make a video on this topic and talk about it today. You have to realize that our brains can focus on only one thing at a time. So as we are small, when we are small, we have to focus on brushing our teeth, walking, reading, cycling, driving our cars, all the trivial things that we do, how to eat well and how to take care of ourselves. Those are all things that we had to focus on when we were small. And now that we're grown up, because of those habits or because of those programmings, we can now focus on harder things in life, like learning something new, working on our task, working on our goals, and so on. So, if you are a student, if you have good habits as a student, that is studying on time, good eating habits, reading habits, study habits, exercise habits, you are never a procrastinator, you have good note taking technique, revision techniques. These are your habits, they're formed as habits in you. Then, if there's a new subject to learn or a new problem to tackle on, your brain energy or the brain space can go towards that. Let's say you have poor student habits. You don't plan, there is no routine in you, you study just before the exams, don't sleep on time, you don't eat healthy, you don't exercise, you watch too much TV. Then when you have to study, all your brain energy has to be overcome or to be used to overcome your bad habits. Good habits are some things, or habits are something that lets you focus on something new. And if you have good habits, then you can focus on your growth, your changes in you, your personality development, your new learnings, and so on. Let's say you are an adult, and I'm an adult, and I've got the habits of very successful people. What are the habits of successful people? They get up very early, they do the hardest things first, they take time to learn something new, they have goals, they have planned their day, they plan their weeks, and they're very focused on they've got good eating habits, sleeping habits, exercise habits. They take care of themselves very well. They've got good habits about connections, they build networking and so on. Let's say you have poor habits of grown up people, no routine again, poor eating habits, poor sleeping habits, watching too much TV, you don't plan, there are no goals, every time a last minute person. You can see that your habits, then if you have poor habits, all your time is spent on overcoming your poor habits. Good habits lets us focus on something that's really important. So habits lets us focus on something that is very important. And whereas bad habits, you have to overcome, take your mental space, mental energy to overcome your bad habits, then focus on your tasks and your goals. Now that I've explained to you why habits are important, and I'm again telling the point that habits are routines, and good habits, when you can focus your brain space, your brain energy on new tasks and new challenges. As parents and families that have got good habits, that is, good eating habits, good sleeping habits, exercise habits, are habits about good relationship. You always say things that are proactive or positive, or you bring them in a very secure environment where there is always safety, there is always love, there is always care, there is always nurturing. Then children who grow up in these families have got energy to focus on new challenges and new tasks. If children grow up in families that have poor relationships, watch TV all the time, poor eating habits, eat late, sleep late, binge watch, whatever it is, or very negative environments, then a lot of energy of the children is spent on overcoming those than studying or then taking up on new challenges or new tasks or new projects. Now that we realize that it is important to develop good habits, we need to understand that where do children acquire habits? Now, habits can happen through operational conditioning or classical conditioning. Now, what is operational conditioning? What it means to say that is things that are appreciated, things that are recognized tend to be repeated. Things that are punished or discouraged tend to die down. So, what is repeated, do you want it to be repeated? You need to recognize it, you need to cherish it. You see the world, right? Today, if there is Bollywood music liked or Hollywood music liked, it's cherished more, it's recognized more, it's applauded more. And that's what gets cherished. Carnatic classic music or Indian classic music may be really good, and maybe it's better than that, but it's not cherished, it's not applauded, it's not recognized. That's why it's dying down. So, the same thing in our children. If we want good habits to form, we have to cherish it, we have to applaud it, we have to, some way say, you've done a good job. It could just be by a smile, it could be a pat on the back. And that's how newer and better habits get formed. So, to end this video, I want to say one thing: we are what we repeatedly do. And if you want to see something good in your spouses, in your children, when they do something good, recognize it and cherish it. Thank you.